Hey, yo. Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video. Again, coming from my phone inside this car. And the reason for that is twofold. Most importantly and biggest is my computer, or the computer that I use, is being used for remote schooling for my child. So I don't have as much access to it as I would like. Hopefully I can work around that for future videos. And then number two is because right now my kids are getting a routine checkup at the doctor's office, but only one parent is allowed at a time. So my wife obviously wanted to be the one to go in there. So I let her go, and I'm waiting in the car patiently. And who knows how long it'll be, half hour, 40 minutes. It's two kids. So I figured I might as well take some time to talk about Supergirl. In fact, it's getting canceled. Yes, Supergirl is getting canceled. The official reasoning that is being given is, number one, is that the rating trajectory has not been good for Supergirl. Number two is Melissa Benoist is basically, she's become a mother, so basically she wants to take time to focus on being a mother, which is fantastic. Becoming a parent is one of the best things in the world, so congratulations to her. And I think the biggest thing also is that DC, Warner Brothers, rethinking how they're approaching shows, focusing more on HBO and less on the CW, which, I mean, makes sense. And I'll go into each reason, so I might as well go into reason number one, which is the trajectory of the ratings. Now, Supergirl actually started off really, really strong, I think, as a TV show. And for the Arrowverse, it was one of its strongest in its first and second season. The third season onwards, I feel as though was just nowhere as good. I don't know exactly what to put the pulse on. I don't know if it was the villains, or if it was the storytelling, or how woke it became, or political it became. For me personally, right, regardless of what my personal political or social opinions are, I just don't want that shit like TV shows. I don't. The reason why I watch TV shows is because I want to escape from the craziness that the world is today. So that could definitely have been a factor. At least it was for me, because I essentially stopped watching Supergirl maybe season 4 or 5. I think season 5, whichever season had Lex in it, and the Red Daughter Supergirl. That's the season I stopped watching, because it just became too much. And it was like the same drama the characters were going through all the time, which is sucky, because all the characters are great characters. I think Melissa Benoist does a fairly good job at being Supergirl, and the Supergirl cast is very well handled. But yeah, there was definitely a decline in writing and oversaturation of politics and social issues, and as well as I just think that the villains haven't been as good. Lex wasn't bad, but I mean, that's about it. So I can understand why the trajectory was going downhill, which is, again, a damn shame, because the first few seasons were great. Which kind of ties into the next thing. You know, there's also a Superman show coming out, and Superman is the flagship character of that brand, with the likes of Supergirl, Superboy, so on and so forth being the secondary characters. I think a lot of focus is going to be put into Superman, and then now with the cancelization of Supergirl, you know, those characters can go into Superman from time to time. And I think that's honestly going to be the plan. Don't be surprised as if in Superman you don't see Supergirl, Martian Manhunter, Brainiac, or anyone else show up. I would be surprised if they didn't. I think it would be a happy medium to keep those characters going in the Arrowverse, at the same time, you know, flourishing this new TV show and getting rid of a TV show that hasn't been performing as well. There's not too much to comment on Melissa Benoist becoming a parent and wanting to take time off. That's just reasonable. I don't know if that was the deciding factor. I think that might have been just, you know, the last factor. I think the ratings is the deciding factor, among other things. But I mean, it makes sense, right? If every time I had a kid, if I could take time off, I would. The most I had was a week or two for paternity leave, but anyways, and the last thing is HBO is becoming the main source for DC television, which, you know, the CW has done a fantastic job weaving a renaissance of comic book television. One of the best shared live action universes, great crossovers, great stories, you know, and when it was at its best, it was, oh my God, it was fantastic. Who remembers Arrow season 1 and 2? Who remembers Supergirl season 1? Black Lightning season 1? You know, Legends of Tomorrow actually got better as it went on. Flash has been consistently good. So, I mean, when it's at its best, it's fantastic. But I think on the flip side, if you think about it, and let's be realistic, you have HBO that's willing to pound in so much money to these TV shows, much more than CW could. Well, at the same time, having less episodes on the TV shows, it makes sense that eventually DC would want to transition everything over to HBO. Now, I'm sure CW and DC Comics are still going to be investing in Flash because it's still a successful TV show by every metric that I've seen. And with the new Superman TV show coming out, I'm sure they're going to invest into that. But I wouldn't be surprised if DC Legends of Tomorrow, Black Lightning both get canceled soon. I'm surprised Batwoman hasn't been canceled. When you lose your star, the titular star, regardless of how good your casting could be for replacing her, I just don't see good coming from it. It's kind of like if you had a TV show called Batman, and then Bruce Wayne, the actor that plays Bruce Wayne, leaves. You try to replace him with someone else. Yeah, you can do it, but it just won't be as successful. So I think it's going to come down to Flash and Superman being the last few shows around, which is a shame, because the DC television universe has been really good. The CW shows, the Arrowverse has been really good. Like I said, when they're good, they're fantastic. A lot of great characters that have come out of it and portrayals. You know, Grant Gustin's Barry Allen is fantastic. Melissa Benoist, Supergirl was good. Stephen Amell's Oliver Queen / Batman, because he basically was Green Arrow and Batman mixed together, was still refreshing. We got a cool Deathstroke. I mean, there's tons of characters that we got. So, but it's sad to see it eventually close, but I think at the end of the day, it might be for the best, because then we're going to get the HBO universe, or at least the shows that are coming out of HBO. So, you know, like the Green Lantern show, the Gotham show, or the Batman show that's tied to Matt Reeves' movie, set in year 1, I believe a Justice League Dark and a Constantine show. So there's a lot of things coming out. For me personally, I think it's okay. Eventually stuff has to die. Eventually they have to leave, and things have to change. And I think maybe 3 years from now, the CW shows will be all but gone. But hanging around for 10, 11 seasons, combine all of them, not like each season put together, but like over that span from when Arrow started to where we are now and where it could go, I mean, that's a good run. There's nothing wrong with that. It's better than most other comic book shows or shared universes in a comic book universe has been around. But yeah, and I'm not surprised to see Supergirl's really kind of the first one to go. Arrow ended on its own terms. I'm sure Arrow could have stayed around longer. I don't think Supergirl's ending on its own terms. I think it's being forced to cancel. So those are just my thoughts, some quick thoughts on it. I'm curious to see what you guys think, what your thoughts are. Please comment down below. And as always, this is Andrew saying peace out for now.